Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel and welcome to the second video of this series, and that is a complete real-time DevOps project part 2. And hope you are aware of all the structure and the scenario, like the high level and the level diagram we have discussed in the previous video. So make sure you have watched that video, then only you will be able to understand like which part of that project right now we are going to implement. Okay, so make sure you are watching that then before proceeding with that. So in this video series, in this video I'm going to create this infrastructure, right? So in the first video we have discussed like we will do our project from infrastructure, like planning, infrastructure creation till the uh, deployment. Okay, so this is just a chunk of that. It is also, like, if you will see, it is also going to be a small project. It is not a small project because you are going to create this complete infrastructure. That is okay, so it is also a project itself, mini project you can say. Okay, so you can see what we are going to implement today. Okay, like for the application and all, we are creating like jenkins, nexus and sonarcube. Those all things should be running somewhere, right? Apart from that, you will be running your eks cluster in your aws, correct? That will be in private subnet or public subnet, that we going forward we will see. So coming to the diagram, so let me walk you through. So this is the VPC, you can see, and inside this VPC we are having six subnet here, right? So you can see that the green one is indicating like the number of public subnet we have, and the right and the blue one is indicating these are private subnet. Okay, and inside that you can see some instances are running, correct? These are instances of jenkins. This is instance of sonarcube. One more we will keep like our nexus, correct? So, and like our databases and all, going forward we will create our databases and all, we will try to keep inside this private subnet, right? So are you aware about like what is public subnet or private subnet? Do you know the difference between that? So this is a very important question. Interviewer is going to ask you what do you mean by public and private subnet, right? So most of you do not understand, like on paper if you will see both are same type of subnet, but logically this is going to be completely different, right? So public subnet is what? Okay, so public subnet is something, if you will launch any EC2 instance inside this public subnet, it is going to communicate with the internet, right? Internet traffic it can take, and it can send traffic to the internet, right? But in private subnet, mostly what we keep our databases, right? So do you want your databases to be accessed from the outside internet? No, right? It should be accessed only through your application. So that is why we keep our private subnet into this. Now coming to the point, like what is public subnet and what is private subnet, correct? So public subnet is something, it public subnet will have a internet gateway attached to it. Okay, so public subnet have a internet gateway attached to its route table. Okay, so whatever subnet will be public subnet, in which internet gateway will be attached to its route table. Okay, and coming to this private subnet, you will not have internet gateway attached here, okay, to its route table. So in simple word, public subnet are the subnet in which internet gateway will be attached to its route table. So internet gateway attached to VPC, so that it will be accessible, to the internet, right? Whenever it so internet gateway we are going to attach to the VPC. Okay, but when we will update the route of while updating the route of this public subnet, we have to mention we have to choose this route. which is called internet gateway, right? That you have to attach, that you have to update in its route table. But in the private subnet, you are not at all going to attach the internet gateway to its route table, right? So now you will be thinking like how we will manage the server, like databases server needs some patching and all activities, right? For that it should be connected to the internet, it should be connected to the internet. So for that case, what we use, for that case we use a NAT gateway. Okay, so what we will do, we will create a NAT gateway. Okay, make sure, keep the note of this point. The NAT gateway you are going to create, that should be in public subnet. But when you will update its route table, then you are going to attach now this NAT gateway which is present in this public subnet, right? So for public subnet you are attaching the internet gateway to its route table. For private subnet you are going to attach the this update the route table with the NAT gateway which is present into this private subnet. So you may be thinking like why I am saying this again and again, because this is very important, very important as per the interview point of view, right? So yeah, so this is a NAT gateway. You are aware, like this is something like a managed service that allows instances within a within a private subnet within a VPC to connect to the internet, right? To download packages from the internet, perform some patching activities and all. So okay, so that is fine. Okay, so now we will be creating two public subnet. This is one VPC we have, right? Let me make a note of that, what we are going to create. Where is the text? Okay, so we need one VPC. Okay, we need, how many subnet do we need? We need six subnet, like based on your demand, based on your project demand you will create. But as per my project scenario, what I will do, I will just create because this is for my case not at all in will come in use, right? So that is why I will create two public subnet and two private subnet only. So four subnets, right? Okay, two public plus two private. So okay, fine. And apart from that, we will be creating internet gateway, we will be creating route tables, right? We will do the route table association with the particular subnets, correct? So these all things we will do. So let's jump into the lab part now. Okay, so hope you have saw my previous videos, right? Where I have shown like how to create the folder structure, like how we are going to follow. So this is a complete new directory I'm using. I'm going to follow my approach only. It's not my approach. This is what I have followed in many companies. So this is our first folder, and this is okay. Come here, and this is our second folder, which will have, I will keep all of my modules here, right? And after that I will have many files here, right? Like suppose your main.tf, we will have your main.tf, we will have variables.tf. For better experience you can switch to 1.5. Okay, if I am going slow. Okay, so after that you need a provider. So see why I'm creating this much files, like this is the best practices you are going to follow whenever you will join in a company as a DevOps engineer. So these are the parameters you have to follow, right? So version.tf, right? So these are the fields you have now, and what is required now. Okay, one provider.tf we have, variable.tf we have, main.tf we have, version.tf we have. One is left, like backend.tf, that I will show you in the last. Okay, coming to the modules part now. Coming to the modules part, I have to create multiple folders here, right? So what are the things we need till right now. Okay, so what do we need? So going to the modules, I will have folders like first we will start with VPC. So see, the name, even the naming convention I am following. Uh, okay, so this mainly what files it will contains, like main.tf and .tf. Okay, let me form the structure first, then only we can proceed. Okay, now again I need a folder like AWS subnets. Correct, this will have again two folder. Correct, I have my AWS VPC, I have my AWS subnet. Now we will start typing its writing its code. So we will start with AWS VPC first, right? So how we will proceed? Okay, so we have to go to the Terraform documentation for that, right? Okay, why I have two folder opens? Simply I have just kept it open, right? And I'm going to move it this side. Come, yeah. Okay, so I need the AWS VPC, right? So AWS VPC, just type a keyword, click on the first link you are having. Okay, if I'm going slow, I'm saying again, you can switch to 1.5 so that you can. So this is what we can capture from here, right? So just take it. Okay, and okay, so all things we have to variabilize, right? So make sure you are creating the variable as well, like vpc cidr vpc cidr block. Okay, one variable I have given this, and instance tenancy. Okay, let me check if it is required or not. We'll see if this is also optional. Correct, so we can remove this, not required. Okay, so now coming to the tag part, so we will variabilize the tags as well. Let me create this variable tags. Now once done, let me just take it, let me just keep it into default. Okay, and in the same way uh, we will variabilize the tags now. Okay, so like var dot tags. Okay, so in this manner, you are, if you are new to Terraform, you, if you do not know how I'm using this, so see, for variabilizing I have declared a variable name. Okay, any name you can declare. Correct, best best name. Okay, that should define this. So I have given this, I have created a variable, and default is a default is using default we are passing this. Now how I will use this variable here? You will use simply var dot vpc. If I will start saying these all things, then it is going to be a very it is going to take very much time. Hope, make sure you have watched my previous Terraform video, then it will be very easy for you to understand. So I'm assuming like you have watched, I'm not going to explain this much right now. Okay, so I have done the variabilization of this. uh, okay, now I'm going to subnet part, right? Again, instead of VPC, use the same keyword. See, you will get anything on internet, but how you are making use of that? Okay, because there are many variables which is required for your project, that is not shown in this demo one. Okay, so I'm taking the bare minimum things for the implementation part, right? So I have chosen this with this block. Correct, and I am going to deploy. Where is my subnet? This is my subnet. This is main.tf. I have given here. Okay, so apart from that, we have to like VPC ID we have in another model, you remember, right? And this is the CIDR block for a particular subnet. And we are having how many subnet? We are going to create how many subnet? We are creating 4 subnet, 2 public and 2 private subnet, right? And apart from that, I forgot to mention something. I will show you. So the subnet we are going to create, that will be in different availability zones, right? So suppose one subnet will be in east us2 and the second subnet will be in some other subnet. Okay, not subnet, in different availability zones. Okay, so let me switch to the third page. This is one. So this subnet is in, suppose, us east 1a, this will be in us east 1b. Same in this same in way same way, this first private subnet will be in availability zone 1, and this private subnet will be private subnet will be in availability zone 2. Okay, so in this way we are going to create, right? So we need one more variable. Let me check where is the availability zone. Okay, so you can see how I am going to formulate, how I am using this new word which is not in the default, right? So this is project dependent, right? So okay, so once this is done, I will do what? I will variabilize this availability. Okay, because I have not created this variable, that is why it is showing. Okay, so let me formulate this variable availability zone. Let me copy paste here. Done. Now I need the CIDR block, subnet CIDR block, right? So just simply variable uh, CIDR block. Okay, default value, if you want to pass you can pass, otherwise not required. Okay, I have and one more thing is left. What is that? Tags part, right? So these 3 things you have done. Now just make it as a variable. Okay, why we are variabilizing this? So that we can deploy the same template for multiple environments, right? Directly copy pasting is not going to help at all. So you have to use the same code, you have to use the same module for different environments. Okay, so these all things I have already told in my previous video. Okay, and one more variable we need. What is that? VPC id, correct? So let me make one more variable VPC id. This is the one. And okay, var dot VPC id. Okay, now this is not a good practice to keep here. Again, I will go to variable.tf. I will pass. Great. Now once this is done, let's check. Okay, let's check how we are going to make use of these 2 modules at least. Or okay, so that you will have the better understanding, right? What we have done, we have created a VPC. It will have 4 subnet, 2 public subnet, 2 private subnet. Now I am going to call these 2 modules into my main. This is the main where we have to call this, right? So okay, so how we will call? You have to write this module, and I'm going to, you can name anything. Okay, and make sure you are giving the correct source path. So what is my source path? Like this is okay, it gave me, wow, like I think earlier it was not giving in this way. AWS. Okay, I given name, sorry, this is not a correct name. Okay, so here also you have to define the source. What is source here? No, it's not giving. Okay, it gave. Okay, so now, so in this way you will be able to access the module which we have kept in this folder, because you have allocated the path, right? So Once you have wrote in such a way, because see, now you saw right in the subnet you need the VPC ID here, correct? VPC ID is in which module? Subnet module, right? And VPC you are creating in different module, right? So how you will pass? You will pass through this main.tf, right? So whatever variable names you have created till now, you are going to call all those variables here. Okay, so let me make it large. Okay, what are the variable I have used in this? I will. Okay, so there are two variable I need. This is the first one. Name, give it the same name, right? Whatever variable name you have given there, left side the same variable name will come. Okay, and one more variable you have. What is that? That is tags. Okay, this is your tag. In the same way, now you will go to your subnets, you will go to your variable, keep it here. What are, how many variable you have? Okay, so first thing, any in any manner you will see, but for the best code practices I am writing in this way. Okay, VPC ID, then what was that? So that anybody will read, they will be easy to understand, they can easily understand. Okay, availability zone we have used, correct? And what is left? This tag. Oh, let me copy it. Okay, okay, so how you will pass values now, that is a question here, correct? So I am going to use map here. Okay, in Terraform we have the map concept that I'm going to use here. Okay, so for that, so how you will pass values now? So this is the one file from which we are going to provide value, create value, pass value for different environments. I'm going to name it as terraform.tf tfvars. Okay, so this is the file. Let me keep it here now. Okay, so how you will write, how you will approach now? Okay, so see, you need a VPC. You need to pass VPC's value, right? From this way to this here, correct? So I'm going to declare a variable first, like it will be VPC config. Okay, this is the variable name I'm giving. This is my map. Okay, and I have to provide any key. Okay, so I'm giving something like VPC01. This is the key, right? Okay, in this key we will pass multiple values, correct? So I need VPC CIDR block here. Okay, so just copy, paste same variable name, any variable name here you can pass. Okay, it is not like you have to pass the same name. Okay, you can pass here based on your requirement, but I am using the same name so that you will not be confused. Okay, so let me pass some CIDR block 192.168.0.0/16. Okay, this will be good. Now we have to pass the tags, right? Two variables are there. Tags equals to okay, okay. Let me give the name. What name do you want to give to this? VPC. So my VPC will be good. I know it is not a good name, but yeah, in my mind this name is coming. Okay, so in the similar way, you see, in the similar way you can copy this block, correct? You can paste again this block, you can change the variable name. In this way you will be able to create multiple VPCs, but as per the diagram I do not need any other VPC. One VPC is enough. So in the same way I am going to create subnet config. Okay, 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 fine. So here, here you have to provide the key name. Key name can be anything. Okay, no need to worry about that. This is your VPC name. Okay, in Azure you can directly declare the name, but in AWS you have to pass the name in this uh, tag section. Okay, coming to the subnet part, what should we do? Okay, so we are creating four subnets, right? So I'm going to do what? I'm going to name it with its availability zones. Correct. So it will be in public US East 1A. So basically we are going to deploy our things into this zone, right? So that is why I thought this is going to be a good name. So this indicates what type of subnet it is, and this indicates in which availability zone this subnet is present. So in the same way what you will do, okay, let's do one thing. Let's fill this first, then we will go for next. Okay, so what is the what are all the variables we need to pass here, right? So subnet name, we can choose this. Okay, and apart from that we need the VPC ID here, right? So leave it as for now. I will tell you why I am saying this. Okay, I'm going to define this CRR block. Okay, what will be the CIDR block? Okay, take the same. I took the same and 18. I will choose this. Okay, and once this is done, what do you need? You need the availability zone, right? This is your variable name. Just check it. What, in which availability zone you are creating? You can copy from the naming convention of the subnet. Fine. And what else is required? Tags name. What name you want to give? So again you can check the same name, not the issue. Correct. Key and name is same here. Okay, you can keep any name to the key. Okay, so that is fine. Now we need how many subnet? We need 4 subnet. Copy, copy, paste. Okay, so this will be in 1B. And what change we have to do? We have to change into this 168, what we kept above, 168.0.0. Okay, so in this subnet I will take something like 64. Okay, so this will be in B, and the name you have to change B. Correct. Now again, okay, we have copied, we have the copy, we have the buffer. So again this will be private subnet. Copy the name in first availability zone. Correct. Okay, and what is the availability zone? 1A only. Okay, and for this I'm going to take 128. This change I'm going to do into the address space here. Okay, apart from that, do you see anything we have to change? Nothing, right? So this is fine, this is fine. Okay, one more subnet we need, right? So again we will copy this. I have not passed yet the VPC ID, right? I will show you how we will pass. That is very important. That is why I have stopped there. So here I'm going to pass 192. Okay, so hope you are aware like how to calculate and find it out, or you can take the help of internet to find this. That is not a issue. 1B. So we have our this much of subnet. Correct. So now we have to pass this here. So for that, what you have to do, So make sure, like suppose the number of variables you are declaring, these are the variable. Okay, so the number of variables you have to create, like variable vpc config, fine, two variable subnet. Let me copy this. Okay, so we have the two subnet here, copy it, and see, this is the data of main, right? This is the data of main, not of this module, correct? So where we will keep these all variable into this folder, not folder, this variable, right? Out external variable. So that is why it will take config will take from this. Okay, because in main we are going to use the variable which we have declared here. So now how you will use that? So for that you have to run a for each loop, because you are using a map. So for each equals to var dot which config, vpc config. How you will access these values? So for that you have to do each dot value dot vpc CIDR block, correct? And in the same way you are going to pass the tags. How? Each dot value dot tags. Okay, so now the vpc id is pending, right? You are going to remind me again. For that, what you have to do, without for each you are not going to access, you cannot access, right? So make sure you are using the for each. Now leave the vpc. I'm going to tell you in some time how I will use this. So for after that, what you have to do, you have to what was that, each dot value dot CIDR block only, right? Copy this name, paste it here. Again, availability zone you have to do each dot value dot availability come. Okay, again each dot value dot and tags. Okay, now I need the vpc id. Okay, and but you can see how we will pass the vpc id, correct? Because this module is creating vpc id. So here we have to output this vpc id first, correct? So how we will output that? Go to vpc folder, go to main, and here you will write a output block. Once you will write the output block, then what are the things you need to define there, right? So for that you have to give a meaningful name here. Okay, so I'm giving it vpc id only. And here what you have to write, value. Okay, so how you will output? Take this name dot array dot what is main dot what do you need, id, correct? So you gave this. So where it is not a best practice to keep it here, you will create one more file here, that is output dot tf. Okay, fine. So I'm done with that. Okay, and now I will get output. And now I will get output going to the external main. This is the external main. I will get output from this module. But how I will take that output and pass it to here? Okay, that is the question, right? So for that, what we will do? Okay, so for that, what we will do? Go again to your main or this variable file. Okay, and here you have to take any unique name. Okay, what is the unique name you will take here? That you are going to use here in the main file to call the unique vpc. Like suppose you are having multiple vpcs, right? You will not you cannot differentiate which vpc you are going to use. So for that, what you will do, you come here, you provide any unique name here in the subnet, right? So I'm giving vpc name equals to which vpc, this vpc. Okay, see, I am differentiating. Okay, this is very important. In which subnet, this in which VPC, this subnet will go. I have made it dynamic. Correct. If I will have multiple VPC, I will copy, I will paste VPC to, I will change the name, I will change the CIDR block, and that I will assign simply using this key. Correct. So now we have just one VPC. I'm just going to copy it, copy, copy. Make sure you are formatting in a good way while doing in project. Okay. So okay, this is done. This is fine. This is fine. But okay, what a mistake we have done, yeah. Okay, this is a type of string. VPC name will be a type of string. Okay, let me copy it again. Now do we have anything? I have copied. I have copied. Okay, this is fine. Now let's go back to our module section, and here how we will access that. That is a question, right? So for that, what we have to do, we have to call the particular module. Okay, so module dot VPC. Okay, this was site module dot VPC modules. Here, once you are calling this module, you have to call a particular VPC. If suppose you are having multiple, you have to call the particular VPC. That is why we have gave this name, right? How you will call? Each dot value dot, now you will use this unique identifier, unique variable. Give me its, this VPC's ID, not this ID. You are outputting this by this name, right? In output you gave this name to output. So yeah, so now this is completed. Okay, but still you if to run this code, you have to do some modification in provider.tf and version.tf, right? So let's go to this provider.tf, right? Provider AWS, what are all the things you need here? You can copy from the internet this as well, but I remember reason equals to, let me variabilize this as well. Reason, what was that? Access key equals to var dot access key, and you need secret key as well. Secret key equals to, I have not yet created. Okay, secret key. Okay, and let me make it variable reason, in which reason you are creating variable access key and variable secret key. These three variable I'm taking it from here, and where you have to keep, these are external variables, so in the external variable file. Once this is done, you have to pass these three values, right? You have to pass these three values. So reason I can pass directly. Okay, that in which reason do you want to deploy? So this is the reason which we have chose, USS1. Correct. And two more variables, which what was that? Access key equals to, we have to generate this variable, and secret key, we have to generate this variable. Okay, so now let me go to the AWS portal and create this access key and secret key. Hope you are aware how to create this. I have shown in my previous Terraform video. Okay, so let me, so I have passed my these two variable. Now I am going to run, right? If we will get any issue, we will try to resolve it. Don't worry. Where is the console? Okay, open an integrated terminal. What is the first command we use? Don't know why it is slow. Okay, Terraform init. We will check if it is, if any issues are there, we will check. It is going to take time. Let me pause the video and come back once. Okay, so it is done. Now what you have to do, Terraform plan. Let's see if it doesn't throw any error or any syntax mistake. Okay, we gave the Terraform plan, but using which file it has to do this Terraform plan, we have not given, right? So that we have to provide Terraform plan. Where is the var file? -fn var file equals to, where is the file? /config/ dot. Now let's check. In this directory I have the terraform.taval file. From that variable you have to make use of that. Hope you're aware of that. I have shown in my previous video. Okay, so see, it is creating. We can see the replicas, like what are the things it is creating. We have the subnet here. Okay, private public subnet 1a 1b, fine. And this is what our VPC. It is creating, it is plan is successful. Now if you want, we can do the apply. Okay, so now resource will start getting created. Okay, I haven't given the hyphen auto hyphen approve. Once you will do that, you do not have to worry about that, but this is the best practice, right? If you got some, if you want to do some changes before applying, if you have given auto approve, then it is not going to ask you at all, right? So see, it has added this much of 5 resources. Okay, so now what we need to add the internet gateway, we need to create the route tables, we need to create the NAT gateways and all, right? So I will show you in the next video. Thanks for watching.